Next time we meet up, I'm going to bring
Hey, how's it going? How's it going? Hard Talk Radio. I'm your host, MrDeadman. And with us tonight is two heads of the Cerberus. They refer to him as the Cerberus, the trio here. We got Mike Ennenbach, Chris Miller. We don't have Patrick here because he's out being a bum. I invited him, but he didn't want to show. He says it's work. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize this hitting the bottle hard again is work. It doesn't matter. We got the best over here. Chris Miller and Mike Ennenbach. They're the ones that carry the show. They're the ones that carry the weight. I've heard it. Yeah. I've heard it. People say Patrick C. Harris III is a good writer. He's a good writer. I'm just messing with you. I'm messing. No. You guys are all good. But okay. Oh man. Okay. So Chris Miller, Mike Ennenbach, how you guys doing, man?
Excellent.
Wonderful, sir.
That's good to hear. And it's good to have you. I mean, you guys are pretty much regulars on the show. And guys, I do apologize for the fact there's no visual here. New setup and didn't have time to really get it to work with Skype. It is what it is. But
I waxed my nipples for this.
He's lying. I waxed his nipples for this.
Potato, tomato.
So it's good to know that you guys have this sort of close relationship. You guys are waxing each other's nipples for this.
Yeah, no, not each other's. My nipples will never be waxed.
Yeah, he does not allow that. He's got one gigantic cyclopean baloney-sized nipple, and it's off-centered on his chest. And it has these bristly hairs around the edges, like almost razor wire. It is frightening.
And when you get close, the nipple squirts.
It does.
What?
It does.
That is...
Yeah.
It's a dog thing where Cerberus eat it.
Yeah, eat it.
Okay, so you're wait. So you lactate? Is that what I'm hearing?
It's
Chris.
We lactate. We are Cerberus.
Have you ever watched those where they pop the boils and stuff, and that weird jettisoning greenish yellow gray?
Just keeps coming.
Yeah, but it's chunky. It's like oatmeal.
Yeah,
but it smells like death.
Well, I've never watched a video with the scent turned on, but
if anybody watching this in the smell
That's nasty. That is nasty. Oh God. Yeah, let me plug this book real fast. It's called MrDeadman Made Me Do It. Hey, are you in a bind? Did you get busted for having dope? Guess what? You just blame it on me. MrDeadman made me do it. Hey, did you murder somebody and you don't know, can't get rid of the body? You know what? Just blame it on me. MrDeadman made me do it. Buy a copy of this book, hand it to the officer when they show up, and be like, "That's my alibi. That's it. MrDeadman made me do it." Okay, that's why you need a copy of this book, not for the stories, but just so maybe you can get yourself out of a bind. Okay.
It's a get out of jail free card. I've used it twice.
Right, it works. It works just about every time.
Just about every time. Every time now.
Yeah. All right, so you guys want to come on to talk about? You guys have stories that are nominated by Splatterpunk Awards. Now,
absolutely.
Now, for those who don't know, I guess kind of explain what the Splatterpunk Awards are, real fast.
So several years ago, I don't know if it was 2017, 2018, whenever it was, Brian Keene, best-selling author, and Wrath James White, who's another best-selling author, both famous for extreme horror, established the Splatterpunk Awards in association with the Killer Con convention that they were putting together every year in Austin. Still are, not these past 2 years because of COVID, but anyway, so it basically looks for superior achievement in splatterpunk and extreme horror subgenres.
Cool. And there's some stuff in there that's pretty wild, like Edward Lee. Oh God, dang man! Tell you talking about the granddaddy right there of a splatterpunk, right? I mean, that's where.
Yeah, I mean, his stuff is. He's a lot more splattery than we are. I'll give him that.
Most definitely. You ever read Big Head? That's the book.
Yeah, you know what? I almost couldn't finish it. And Ed, if you're listening, I love you. You are a good writer, but Jesus H. Christ.
Big Head is crazy. And then what is it? What the White Trash Part 2, White Trash Gospel, is that what it's called?
I never went on. I never went on beyond Big Head.
Oh, good stuff.
That was it for me.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's just
I like Flesh Gothic and what was it? City Infernal, the first of the Infernal books. That was a really interesting kind of fantasy horror mashup with a whole bunch of I'm 14 and Richard Lehman sex jokes in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's all I've read of him, but I've read the entire series.
I haven't read that entire series. I know Christine has kind of taken up that series now, and I would love to see what she's done with it. But I've got a bunch of books to catch up on.
Oh, Lake House was fantastic.
Yeah, Lake House was good.
I have no doubt. Doubt. She's fantastic. I don't think she knows how to type a bad sentence.
No, I don't think so either. And Lake House, didn't Lake House win the 2020 Splatterpunk?
Won last year. Yeah. Yep.
It won, I think, Best Novel.
Yeah.
Best Novel, yes. Lake House Infernal. Yes, it did. Speaking of which, in 2020, last year, the Best Anthology went out to And Hell Followed, edited by Jared Barbie and Patrick C. Harrison III, which is why he's not here. He got all that money from that award.
He's got all that money.
Hid in the bottle.
Followed money.
You know how it works, man. I feel like he's better than all of us.
Scowling from Africa.
Yep.
Screw you guys.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So, okay, let's talk about the stories you guys have here, though. Because you got stories that are nominated for 2021 Splatterpunk Awards.
That is right.
And what stories are these?
Well, you know what? Mike is nominated in the short story category for The Incident at Barrow Farm, which is in Cerberus Rising. And it is Mike channeling Patrick and I, or some sort of marriage of Patrick and I, and blowing Patrick and I out of the water, basically.
Wait, Mike Ennenbach blew you and Patrick?
Yeah, he blew us. I mean, that's why.
Behind the barn?
Who do you think's running the show here? You really think people love our shit? We're gonna nominate ourselves. No.
Okay.
No, but seriously, no. Mike knocked that story out of the park, and it was not in his normal wheelhouse. Yet it feels absolutely natural at the same time. It's a beautiful, depraved story of a town falling into madness.
Mm. You know, what's really cool about that book, Cerberus Rising. So it was you, Chris Miller, Mike Ennenbach, and Patrick C. Harrison III, and you guys both wrote the book, but you swapped roles, right? It wasn't like Mike Ennenbach is like the poet. I mean, out of you three, I think he would be the strongest when it comes to poetry. Would you all agree?
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And Patrick C. Harrison III is more of, he's a great storyteller. I was reading Insides Out. Oh man, it reads. That's perfect for reading like around a campfire or whatever. You're telling the story. It's great narration.
Yep.
Chris, you're good too. Not like in a storytelling. I don't know how to put it, but very, very focused. Very focused, I should say. Like when I read Patrick C. Harrison III, I picture this long narration, really good stuff. You know, when I read a Chris Miller story, I see it like a movie almost. You know, if that makes sense.
100%. Patrick's got that slow, lazy way about it where the story kind of just tells itself out.
Yes.
And Chris is laser focused with the tension ramped up or the suspense ramped up. And Patrick lulls you into it, whereas Chris kind of just grabs you by the throat and makes you take it.
Right. Grabs you by the throat, makes you take it. That's right. So, with those strengths, though.
Back to me blowing them again. I feel it.
With those strengths.
That's a great description of my writing. That's hysterical.
You all took turns in doing poetry. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep. We each actually so Mike came. We each came up with a theme or a prompt. Mike came up with cabin fever, and he wrote a poem for cabin fever. And then we all three wrote a short story based around the idea of cabin fever, that theme. Then Patrick had letters. He wrote a poem for letters, and we wrote a triplicate of stories for that. And then I came up with chaos, wrote that poem, and then we all wrote a chaotic story at the end.
And if I remember correctly, was it Patrick or was it you, Chris? It wasn't even my idea for the poetry end. Was it Patrick?
It was probably Patrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm so bad at poetry, I would have never thought to try.
Yeah, see, it's something I would never try either. Yeah, it's crazy. You know, but yeah, I like that you guys did that, though. You wrote stuff that was outside of your comfort zone, and it worked well. We're talking about something that's been really well received. You can go check it out, guys, on Amazon, Cerberus Rising. You'll see.
And
Go ahead.
I want to say right now what we're doing in Cerberus Exploitation, which is the book we're writing at the moment. It's a Grindhouse triple feature. And the way that we are doing this right now is going to blow people's minds.
Oh,
it's so much fun.
We're not just fun.
You want to talk about cinematic writing?
Exactly.
This is cinematic.
You're gonna need popcorn when you read this.
Yeah,
one.
literally.
We're setting it up just like it's gonna be like you're going to a triple.
We're gonna need to sell this in a book with laminated pages because you're gonna have so much butter squeezing all over it. That's how much fun this is.
I knew he was gonna make it gross. I knew at some point it was gonna get gross there.
It's not gross if it's laminated. You can wash a laminated page.
Do you know how much it's gonna cost to print a laminated book?
I'm not gonna do it.
But it's that good.
A fucking book.
It's that good where you're actually gonna need some popcorn while you're reading it. Like, oh my god, this is good.
I'm telling you right now, you have no idea. We're playing.
We've got Electro Satan. We've got vampire nuns. We've got cyberpunk, Mad Max insanity. We've got it all in this, and that's just the tip of the iceberg of what's coming on. Yeah, it's going to be out of this world.
Okay. What is an Electro Satan?
Well, that's all Mike.
That's different. You'll see. I'm not giving away anything. There's a bunch of Chris.
Okay.
We're each taking our exploitation. Chris is gonna just destroy Mad Max, and Patrick's doing the classic '70s sexploitation with vampire nuns, and I'm going more Class of Nukem High meets Battle Royale meets
Class of Nukem High. Yes.
Yeah.
And what's cool is
still.
And what's cool is we're going to have some very different tones. So it's gonna kind of appeal to a wide audience. You're going to have kind of a campiness with one story. You're going to have the classic exploitation in another, and then you're going to have a much more serious toned grindhouse story in the vein of Three from Hell. Kind of, so it's going to kind of, just like Cerberus Rising spanned the whole horizon, this will too.
But importantly, and if Patrick were here, he would stress that there will be breasts.
Yes, you can't exploit without the boobs.
It's his first thing to go to is breasts. He wants everybody to know that they're in there, and I know I describe breasts probably within the first 250 words.
Not sooner.
I haven't
surprised.
gotten there yet. I'm at like almost 4,000, but they're coming.
That should be like within the first sentence.
I was going to say. Very disappointing. We're going to have him rewrite it. Don't worry.
Yeah. I'm going to have to rewrite my whole thing.
The camera pans into a nipple.
It's going to be like stories by Mike Ennenbach, Patrick C. Harrison III, and Mike Ennenbach, Patrick C. Harrison III, and Chris Miller.
Yeah,
that's how it's going to end up going. I've been trying to watch all these exploitation movies lately to get my headspace right.
Hey,
and,
it sounds like we're watching the same movies now.
Insane stuff.
Yeah. Oh, it is pretty wild. So, all right. So tell us a little bit more about these stories that were nominated for Splatterpunk. So Mike Ennenbach is the one. What's the title of the story again? Something Behind the Barn?
The Incident at Barrow Farm.
Barrow Farm. Okay. Now, what happened at Barrow Farm?
Do you know a lot about Ed Gein?
I do.
There you go. I modeled the beginning of it after Ed Gein. Barrow Farm is my version of that, except it needed to be ratcheted up. So it goes some very dark places.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is definitely, again, I go back to this and I'll stress it. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboot with Jessica Biel and how that camera was always slung right at ass level.
Yes.
And it had that sway with her as it went.
Yes.
It had that 70s feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
I purposely never give a time that this movie takes place, but there's no cell phones. So it's roughly like that. And that's what I want you to see. I want Seven. I want Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's the image for your mouth.
Well, and to be fair,
that was the best part about the
Hooper,
remake was that camera angle. That camera angle, and when Jessica Biel was wearing she was wearing that white top that got wet.
Yep.
My God.
They knew exactly what they were doing.
Though, to be fair, Tobe Hooper did the same thing with the ass level camera in the original. When that girl is
in the wheelchair.
No. I mean,
that was
when the girl is walking up to the house for the first time, she's passing that swing. It's right there, following her butt. Yeah.
Oh. You gotta get the butt shot.
Yep.
You have to.
It's 1974. It's like
right.
It doesn't matter.
So it's got some Ed Gein level stuff going on over there. Got some Texas Chainsaw Massacre stuff going. Okay, cool. And something about a homoerotic relationship between Chris Miller and Patrick C. Harrison III. Is that right?
No, it's Duncan Ralston and Dallas Mulligan, actually.
This story is chock full of other authors and fans of horror that we know. It's just a absolute blast.
That's cool. That way they read it and they can be pissed off at you guys and be like, "What? No.
See, that's the difference between horror and other genres. Like horror fans and horror writers, they want to be killed and they want it to be ugly. That there's no bigger satisfaction to them. What I did to poor Cassie in this book is just horrendous, and she just loves it. It's her favorite thing, and that's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that makes sense. And also, it also seems like the people that were going to be in the book anyway, the horror, if there are other authors being referenced, they're going to be cool with it. I mean, I don't know of too many. Well, I mean, you guys might know, but I don't know too many horror authors that would be like butthurt if you used them as some sort of joke, as long as they know about it, right?
Right.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, there are some readers that sometimes are turned off if they happen to be part of the same community and they see all these names and it pulls them back. But your average reader isn't going to have a clue about that.
Right.
And the people who are being referenced are, in on the joke. So they're having a blast with it.
Right. That's good. Okay. Now, so that's Mike Ennenbach's story. Now, okay. I hope it wins. It's nominated. I mean, how do you feel, Mike Ennenbach? You feel like it's going to win? Feel like it's going to win the Splatterpunk Award?
Absolutely not.
Why?
I'm not even sure why I got nominated, if I'm going to be perfectly frank with you.
Oh, give me a break.
Patrick's story that is also nominated, Full Moon Shindig, that is by far, that deserves to have Splatterpunk Award. Following the same, while we're in this category, Patrick's story is
Patrick's story embodies splatterpunk the way Bret Easton Ellis might present it.
Okay. Now, I haven't read Patrick's story.
Okay.
What makes it better than yours?
He literally, so unbeknownst to us, this was before we were Cerberus, he sent it to both Chris and I. He just sent it blind. He said, hey, I'd like you to read this story.
Okay.
And we both went back to him immediately and said, that's very, very Bret Easton Ellis like. And apparently there was an anthology that he'd written it for. It was for books inspired by Ellis. And I mean, it's just, I'm not extreme of all the guys. Like I'll do the gore and stuff, but just I just don't have it in me, I guess, as much as Patrick does for sure. And there's a scene in this story that he knows, and they laugh at me every time we meet at the war room and this fucking story gets brought up. I usually stand up and I just have to explain this scene that I can't get out of my fucking brain. It's burnt. Ugh.
Yeah, it's a painful one.
Yeah, and the worst part is there's just imagery in it that's so beautiful, but this one scene is so horrific that it just fucking scarred me.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, I'm not saying you get.
Yeah, let Patrick tell you when he gets back.
If you haven't read Visceral, which is also nominated for the best anthology, right?
Visceral by Patrick C. Harrison III and Christine Morgan. Yeah. That is a collection nominated for the Splatterpunk, and Patrick's story in it, Full Moon Shindig.
Full Moon Shindig. Okay, definitely have to check out that one. I'm behind on a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stories coming out, a lot of anthologies coming out, and it's like I have to read them all, man.
Oh my god, there's so many books.
Yeah. So okay,
I appreciate the hell out of it when you see the people that buy every one of them, but then they've got like 500 in their to be read list, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, right. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. So I'm actually surprised, Mike Ennenbach, because like you are not afraid of like edgy humor, not afraid of like, man, like I don't know, just going there, like shit and stuff. Like you're not afraid of that. You're not timid around that. So you don't do like extreme gore. Like you don't do like extreme splatterpunk stuff.
No, I mean, it's just not my thing. I don't know. I don't even really care for like the Hostel movies or Saw. I don't like the torture porn stuff. I'm just like, I guess I'll go there if the story requires it, but the stories that I tend to tell, they don't require it.
Okay. All right, so you wouldn't go like Edward Lee's Big Head.
No.
Which is interesting because I was rereading it, parts of it, and I was like, this is Mike Ennenbach. It got nuns, got priests pissing in nuns' mouths and shit. I don't know.
It's a whole lot more Patrick C. Harrison III than it is Mike Ennenbach, honestly.
Yeah, it really is.
It really
weird.
is. Yeah, that's Patrick's forte.
What was the Ketchum book that you had me read that was...
Red?
No, what was the other one?
Off Season?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Absolutely brutal.
Yeah, no, that's just... I read Eastern European absurdists from roughly the early 1900s to the 1970s. That's my wheelhouse.
Oh, wow. See, I need to read more Patrick C. Harrison then. Because
oh my god!
Yeah,
he's just got a new cover, and then he's got the second. What do you call it?
It's another Five Tales book.
Yeah, it's another Five Tales.
It's five. Shit, I can't think of it right now.
Oh, the cover is beautiful.
It's really it embodies that old EC comic cover perfectly.
Yes,
like 50s, 60s. It's awesome.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I'm not afraid. I will absolutely gush to anybody about Chris and Patrick. They're just the best pure writers that I know, and Patrick is just so fucking effortless. He makes you hate him.
Yes.
I mean, maybe like they feel that way when they read mine, or like I feel that way when I read Chris's. But fucking Patrick, the one that he's working on now, holy shit. It's absolutely fucking perfect coming of age.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
I definitely have to check it out. That's good. That's good. Whenever he hops back on, or whenever he has time to come back on, away from being too busy in Africa, whatever he's doing over there, he can tell us a little bit more about that story and his stuff there. Okay.
Hell yeah.
All right. So, now here's the thing. We were starting with Mike Ennenbach. Didn't really talk much about Chris Miller yet.
Here it comes.
Chris Miller has already been nominated for a Splatterpunk Award. In a way, he already kind of won. Sort of.
Yeah.
So, Chris, how does it feel to be nominated again?
Well, let me clarify. The first time was the fact that I had a short story in And Hell Followed, which won Best Anthology last year for Patrick C. Harrison III and Jared Barbie as the editors of Death's Head Press.
Right.
So I was kind of like, I was there and I helped, but
right.
This year,
you're part of it,
this
though.
year, I was part of it, and I'm proud of that. Don't get me wrong, but
I gotta say though, when he said that about how you basically already won a Splatterpunk Award, I heard that weird crinkling noise your cyclopean nipple makes when it gets hard, and I know it was like that guy.
It was going into full raspberry, man.
Oh yeah, you were like, oh, here it comes. Tell me
raspberry, and you can hear the little bumps popping out. See, it's wicked. I'm about to squirt.
Here's the thing. Rumor has it, I heard stories that the reason why it was nominated in the first place was because Chris Miller's story was just so great and so greatly edited. Because if it wasn't edited, it would have been horrible.
It's probably true. That's probably true.
If it wasn't for the fact that he used the Who, was it the Who? Is that who does that?
Yeah, it was the Who. It was Behind Blue Eyes was the name of the story.
No, I'm willing to bet money that you're basing yours not off the Who, but off some gay, aggro '90s alternative band's cover of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I think it was Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Was it?
Oh my god.
I think it was.
Yeah. No. I mean, I've heard both versions of the song, but whenever I was thinking of it, I was like, I pulled that one up
better.
first because, it was the first one that popped up on YouTube, and I was like getting the lyrics. I was like, okay, yeah, and then I went into the story.
I was joking.
Well, no, it's no joke.
I mean, it kind of is.
I thought Five Finger Death Punch. I thought Five Finger Death Punch did a cover of that song.
I guess it is a joke.
I don't know. But anyway, so.
But now he's got dust.
Behind Blue Eyes, Chris. That was your story, and I was the one who won. Well, I mean, technically the anthology won, and your story was along for the ride.
Won.
You were just in the car.
I was part of it, and so was Christine Morgan and Jeff Strand and Raph James White and Sisters of Slaughter. I mean, it was loaded with great writers. So
that was the first Patrick C. Harrison story I ever read, and I just remember I'm reading it and I'm like, oh, this is good. And then he starts poking his fingers into the goat's eyes down in the basement of that bar, and I was like, what the fuck is happening here? That's when I realized I was way out of my depth in the whole extreme horror thing.
Yeah. Just read was it Toxic Love? Toxic Love is pretty extreme. I thought so anyway.
Is that Triana?
Yeah, Triana.
I haven't read that one. I've read Full Brutal, and that one was pretty wild.
Toxic Love is the one where they're the cleanup crew. They clean up murders and stuff, suicides and murders and all that. So already pretty nasty. And the cleanup crew has a new hire, some chick, and it turns her on. And she's like a super freak. And she's like wanting to have sex with this dude in a crime scene. It's fucked up. But, I've dated some chicks that make me wonder, that probably happens. I don't know. I don't know how often.
I mean, sometimes you're worried that little bone's going to break, and they just say, choke me harder, and you're like, fuck.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, are we crossing that line into homicide? What's happening?
If you do, buy a copy of MrDeadman Made Me Do It. Go to Amazon right now. Buy a copy of MrDeadman Made Me Do It. It's only $6, $7. You have a copy on hand. So if you go too far on that, you choke someone out, you have your alibi Look, officer.
I keep a copy in my wallet.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
He's got a big wallet. It's like a Castan.
Big
Everybody
wallet.
needs a copy.
It goes right next to my cyclopean nipple.
Yes.
So it actually there's a little pouch there. So.
Ew.
Okay, so Dust.
So yeah, let's talk about Dust. So Dust is nominated for a Splatterpunk Award.
Dust is nominated for Best Novel for the Splatterpunk Award this year, against some pretty stiff competition too. I'm not the only splatter western to be nominated. There's also Wiley Young, who's also in the novel category, and then I believe both Kenzie Jennings and Christine Morgan. Their splatter westerns are both nominated for novellas,
Which is interesting because they're all from Death Head Press.
Yes,
they
knocked it out of the park.
They did.
The
Death Head
Splatter
Press
Western series
is on point, man.
They just killed it, and they're not finished.
And a lot of foresight. That was planning. That was planning.
It was, and that's Patrick C. Harrison III. That is him. He's playing 4D, 5D chess with everybody. He's killing it.
Yeah, we still need to have a stream together and talk cigars and I guess we could talk cigars and horror and shit, and that'd be fun. That'd be fun. He seems like a really cool guy.
He is.
No, he's a twat.
No, he's a great dude.
God, he is the worst.
He's my favorite twat ever.
What makes him a twat?
He's not allowed to. That's why they ship him back and forth between, like, when one country's hatred for him gets too heavy, they send him back off the coast of Africa.
This is all we can take of PC3. You take him for a few months, and
so wait,
he just kind of gets pushed around the billiard board.
You're saying he's the alpha. You guys are like Cerberus, like three heads of Cerberus. You're saying he's the alpha head because he's the asshole.
No, he's the middle child, and so that makes him the most organized.
I don't know.
And Mike and I the most funny.
If he was on the stream with you guys right now, would y'all be talking like this?
Oh yeah,
I'm talking way more shit because I feel
way more shit.
It with him not here.
Yeah, I'm gushing on him right now.
Oh.
Yeah, we're way nicer to him when he's not around. When he is here, he's just a fucking punching bag.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So maybe he's not an alpha. Maybe he's a beta. He's like that small head.
But he can scowl. And
it's not even Cerberus. It's just a two-headed dog, and there's like this tumor, and that's Patrick C. Harris III. Is that what you guys saying?
No, but when you said the tumor, I was like, "Fuck, Chris is right there. He can hear you."
Thanks.
Yeah. We all have our jobs. We all have our strengths and our weaknesses in the group.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. You guys bust each other's balls, man.
Yours.
You gotta keep. So wait. No, but here's the thing. Who's the most egotistical of the three?
Mike.
He hogs the money.
I don't really think. I would say Chris is the most successful so far of us, but I don't think that. I don't think it's anything but equals, really.
Yeah, I don't consider myself their equal.
I don't know about this. What about the dicks?
Oh no, we've done that. We've tried. You know what? No matter how fast you rub them, you can't make a fire. The Boy Scouts are fucking liars.
That's not what my Scoutmaster said.
Well, your Scoutmaster was.
I'm not allowed to talk about those days.
God.
Well,
I got a badge. I got a badge for not talking about those days.
I
got a badge for keeping silent when my Scoutmaster taught me how to make fire by rubbing sticks together.
Snitches get stitches badge.
Yep.
He's in there sobbing as he's stitching on the loose ring badge.
Thank you so much, Scoutmaster.
Sitting on a little donut.
You don't understand. And then when my dad picked me up.
This is live, Mike.
It's always live. But this is this show. That's what goes on here. That's what we talk about, huh? Every time. You know what's interesting? Honestly, I do try to class the show up every now and then. I do try to have like.
Not with us.
Yeah, and I also stopped myself because I have been having Well, I've had like OnlyFans chicks on here a couple times to talk about their sex work stuff. So there's that. So there is no class. I'm just going to Howard Stern levels. That's what it is, man. Like old school Howard Stern.
I really think that OnlyFans is kind of the porno of the future that like Cyberpunk talked about.
Cyberpunk the game?
I haven't played that.
I haven't played it either. I don't know if it still works.
No, the genre. Well, just think of Demolition Man with Stallone and Sandra Bullock having sex by putting on the little headsets.
Yeah, fuck that.
You know, I mean, that's kind of where it's
like,
going.
No.
And OnlyFans is a step in that direction.
Except Stallone would have to be buying her nudes. I mean, they're in the same room. It's like, can I see you naked? Okay, but for $5. But we're in the same room, like we're right here.
We're literally right here.
Aaron Steepen in the chat, he asked if was it? It's a short story, I think, anthology called "Hot Blood, Hotter Blood, Hottest Blood." Do y'all remember that? It's like a short story trilogy.
I don't guess I've heard of it.
No.
Yeah. That is a blink there. Not sure.
I'm totally Googling it.
Okay. So anyway, Chris Miller. You think Dusk is going to win?
To win?
Yeah. You've been nominated. Do you think you're going to win?
I mean, it'd be cool, but I kind of doubt it.
Why do you doubt it?
I just doubt it. You know, it's you never think you're the one that's going to win, especially when you look at the competition. You know, it's who else is in it? Ryan Harding and Wiley Young, and there's like several other. I mean, it's not like I wrote the great American novel. I wrote a pulpy Western horror story with you know.
But that's what Splatterpunk is, though, right? I mean, Splatterpunk isn't the great American novel. It's like...
I get it. And in its category, I think it has its place. Absolutely. I hope to win. I'd be thrilled, but no. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Now,
real quick, Patrick is texting right now from Africa.
Yeah, I was just seeing that.
Hey, Jesse, fuck you for not having him on, and fuck y'all too. So I guess that's all three of us can fuck ourselves.
And I think he's using a V for you.
Smoke cigars and drink cheap whiskey.
Oh,
what you said. Tell him.
Tell me I'd smoke cheap cigars and drink cheap whiskey.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying right now.
Well, yeah, because I'm making that money that he's making. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, for the East Texas mushmouth, that's pretty insulting. That's about the fattest he gets.
Thank God he's a writer.
Yeah,
hey,
thank God.
I got this Grangestone 12 year. It's pretty good. It's fine. It's fine.
I've got this McCormick vodka flavored whiskey.
No.
I don't have it.
Guys, I gotta step away for a second because I gotta vomit because I swallowed a roach. I think it was in my coffee. So I'm gonna let you guys run the show very quickly. I'll be right back.
You be right back.
Yes.
And
I might die though.
And
So definitely don't embarrass me on the show.
No, absolutely
Of
not.
course not.
Never in a million years.
A skinless rat fucker.
Skinless rat fucker. You know, we haven't said anything about Cerberus Rising, so maybe we can do it twice. If we do it while we're doing it, and then when he comes back. You know, because Cerberus Rising as a collection is also nominated.
Absolutely.
The whole collection, you know, and we went back and forth trying to figure out if this was an anthology or if it was a collection.
And I think we still submitted it wrong because remember
we
did
because when they announced the nominees, Cerberus Rising and Visceral both, which also had Patrick C. Harrison III in it. They had both been submitted as anthologies since it was multiple authors. However, because it didn't have like a editor that was curating the stories, it qualified as a collection. We are Cerberus, and Visceral was Patrick and Christine. Not necessarily like a anthology where somebody says, "Hey, let's write stories about monsters from the woods."
I'm almost positive nobody listening signed up to do geometry or algebra, and I feel like that's what we have to do to follow what you're saying right now.
Is that? Oh, okay.
It feels complicated.
Well, you know what? Geometry was my weakest subject.
Really? See, I like geometry. Algebra fucked with me. You just don't need letters.
Was easier to me. I didn't like either one. I'm not a huge math guy. I mean, I'd be okay with math. I'm not an idiot with it, but I'm not like a math whiz. But algebra came to me a whole lot easier than geometry did. And it may have been my
math
teacher.
Talk with Cerberus kids. Stay in school.
Yeah. And we're back with Reading Rainbow.
Yeah, we had LeVar Burton on while you were throwing up.
That was wicked.
Dude.
Yeah.
He even wore the visor from Star Trek.
Chris just kept calling him Geordie, and I was like, "No, it's LeVar," and he's like, "I don't think so. I've seen the show." I was like, "Okay."
Guys, I've watched that documentary a lot of times.
Is that was that his character's name, Geordie? Am I right?
Geordie LaForge.
Yeah, there it is.
All right. Let's get down to. Let's be serious. Let's get serious here.
Brass tacks. Let's get serious, guys.
Yeah. Chris, you need more self-esteem, man. Come on. Your book is going to win. What, do you think Wile E. Young is going to win? He almost sounds like a cartoon character. Wile E. Coyote? What? Come on.
Oh, shit. It's not just him I'm up against, though. So, and I'm not really trying to compete with any of them. I'm just happy to be nominated amongst them. I was astonished to get nominated.
That's good.
Jesse?
Yes.
I had the first thing I nominated was not nominated. First thing I published was less than 4 years ago.
Okay. Mike, what's up?
Patrick also wants you to know that the story that you haven't read by him, you should have read by him because it would have been yours, but you were too slow on the acceptance letter.
Oh, well, that happens.
Yeah.
I've been not
really weird and passive aggressively fighting you for him.
Mm-hmm.
So it really proves to you that he's a fucking puppet master. Help us, please. Anybody listening out there, help us.
For the love
He's
of
coming
Christ.
back. He'll be back in the States soon.
See, here comes. See,
and he won't even wear his mask.
That's. Oh, dude, I don't wear my mask either. Fuck you guys. I'm not gonna wear my mask. I've already had it. No.
That's why you swallow cockroaches.
That's why. Yeah, I swallow cockroaches because it helps fight COVID. Okay.
They can survive anything.
Yep. And I smoke enough cigars to keep my lungs healthy.
Oh shit.
No. So wait. I was asking earlier. Oh, if Patrick came back over here, would you guys be talking like this? I don't think so. I don't know. The big dog's coming. The big dog.
I promise you, it would be worse.
Oh no, the yard dog's coming back.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we pissed off the. Let's piss off some more.
We'll come around at the end of the episode and stroke each other a little bit, but for the rest of it, we're going to be giving each other shit.
Man, I don't know. Chris Miller told me that Patrick C. Harrison III is he can't write.
Well, I mean, I tell him that too, but at the end of the day, it's not true. So
yeah. Also told me that Patrick C. Harrison III likes smoking Black and Milds, and he considers that a high-class cigar.
Yeah, and you know what? He even tries to bite off the plastic tips. It's unreal.
Yeah. What are those that he's always smoking? A backwoods? He's always like, try these out. I got these at the cigar shop. The dang dang, Mario.
Ding a dang dong ding.
Dang 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 dang. I'm like, fuck off, Patrick. Just write it down so I can read it. Stop talking.
He is the Boomhauer of our alley.
Boom hour's fun.
Oh yeah.
You just slow him down a little bit and make him a little bit more coherent, and he's fun.
Dang old will write something fucked up. Tell you what.
All right.
Oh, wait. That means wait. Is he the one who'll go off about conspiracies? No.
The night that we met for and became Cerberus, we were sitting there around the table talking. I think we were smoking cigars, and we brought up that the story of Patrick's that's nominated. And we were talking about Bret Easton Ellis, and that fucking hillbilly, he looks, and Chris can back me up on this. He says, well, yeah, I like Breezy Nellis. And I said, did you just say Breezy Nellis? And I said, what the fuck is Breezy Nellis? And he said, you're what we're talking about, Bret Easton Ellis. I said, are you saying Bret Easton Ellis or
Breezy Nellis? No. His nickname is Breezy Nellis. You don't know that? Bret Easton Ellis' nickname is Breezy Ellis.
He knows that.
He's Breezy Ellis. There's an interview where Bret Easton Ellis goes in detail about that.
About being Breezy Nellis when he's undercover.
Breezy Nellis, yes, that was his gay name.
Yeah.
It's a gay porn name. Look it up.
If you're in a 70s blaxploitation film and you're about to fight the man.
Oh. All right. So, I don't know. Mike Ennenbach, let me ask you. Which one is more graphic? Which one is more splatterpunk? Chris Miller's Dust or Dusk? Dust or Dusk?
Dust.
Chris Miller's Dust or the one with Wile Coyote, Wile Young, the Mad Pie
Coffin?
Yeah, Mad Pie Coffin.
Oh man, that's the neat thing about the splatter westerns is none of them are the same.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Boy, Wiley's is fantastic. I mean, it's just a great.
They're all. Yeah, it is fantastic, and they all kind of. They all sort of tackle a different subgenre along with the splatter and the western. They all go a different direction. They all have a different tone completely. No two are alike. It's hard to you can't say necessarily it's apples and oranges. They are splatter westerns, but beyond that, it's hard to compare them.
I mean, Christine's is Grapes of Wrath level, and then I don't know. It's impossible to. I think Wiley's was the perfect tone setter to set off the splatter western phenomenon. I think everything about it was just perfect to set this fire.
I agree to that. As soon as that came out, I got it. I read it. I think he gave me an autographed copy. Well, gave me. I bought it. Loved it. It's up here, over here somewhere.
Yeah, no, hell yeah. I was floored with it. I couldn't believe how great it was. I can't wait for the sequels. I know he's talked that he's got them planned. I hope they're still coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and oh man, the MacBook Coffin had so many great scenes. Like, I don't want to give them all away, but the gunslinger, I'll just call him the gunslinger, whatever. He instead of burying somebody, he kills them and he puts them in the body of a buffalo, of a carcass.
No, he puts them in there still alive.
Yeah, still alive. He's wounded though.
Sews up the buffalo.
Yeah.
It's wicked.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a hard way to go. That's a really hard way to go.
Right? Be stuffed inside a body of an animal.
I mean, that really
suffocate.
Embodies all the senses of death.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Good God.
I mean, though, no offense to everybody, I hope Chris wins, of course.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. And of course, best of luck to Wiley and everybody else.
Oh, yeah. Heck
absolutely. Yeah. They earned it.
Mm-hmm. So, what happens now? Like, you guys are nominated.
Yeah, and of course, Cerberus Rising, the book itself, is nominated for Best Collection.
Yeah.
So, so not only Mike's story in it, but then the whole book. And
So odds are good.
Yeah,
One of you is going to win.
I don't know that there's anything the three of us have written that we're prouder of. You know, that's something I look at as like a shining gem of my career so far. Honestly.
Yeah, for sure. We push ourselves differently when we're writing in Cerberus mode than when we're writing for ourselves.
When you're in Cerberus mode, sounds like
yeah. If we're writing something for a Cerberus project, you know, we're sharing it back and forth constantly and pushing each other.
Feedback nonstop.
Not just with the feedback, but by reading the other guy's story and realizing how great it is, and how you have to match that game.
Yeah.
You know, because one of the things I actually got a compliment today from another great writer, Andy Rausch, who's reading Cerberus Rising today, and he was a fan of mine before. He hadn't read Mike or Patrick until now, and he said he was blown away by the consistency of the quality of the stories across all three authors. He's like, you know, you almost expect at least one of them is going to kind of not be up to par. He said, but that, you know, in this case, and I've heard that multiple times in the feedback from this book. And so I think we couldn't be prouder of it.
I think the important thing, and this is a lesson for everybody out there who writes, writing is a solitary act, but it shouldn't be. We are better when we are together and we're reading and we're helping each other polish. And that makes, like, there's no limit to the shine out there, so we can all shine bright as fucking stars. Yep. And it doesn't diminish each other in any bit. And that's what we need to get to as just writers, period. We need to be holding each other up.
Yeah, it's not fixed pie.
Agreed.
It's not a fixed pie.
Yeah, no,
you know,
clearly,
if Mike succeeds, that's not at the expense of my success, and vice versa.
Gotcha.
When any of us succeed, we elevate each other.
That's good. You guys have that sort of positive collaboration going on. And Aaron Stephen asks, so Cerberus is like a think tank? It's a writer trio. These three authors they work together. They work together very well. They set aside their egos, well, more or less, from what you can tell here. They bust each other's balls, yes. But they have this book out called Cerberus Rising, and it's really good. I do highly recommend it. I was going to put it on the screen, but, you know, I still need to tinker with some stuff because it's new setup, new computer. But you can just go to Amazon. I'll put the link here in the chat. Cerberus Rising. 5 stars, 5 solid stars, okay, and pretty good reviews. Just a lot of love, a lot of great feedback, and that was my next question for you guys. I mean, it looks like people are just loving this, like positive vibes all around, like very, very constructive. Have you heard of one person say anything bad?
Even people who don't like. Because there's certain subject matter in there that gets pretty bad. Even the people that don't go for that still recognize how great the stories are around the scenes that they might not like. I've been absolutely floored at what people have said. I find it hard to believe sometimes. They've been very kind to us for this.
Yeah. Not every single story is going to be every person's cup of tea. But there's enough variety in there for everybody. There's at least one story in there that you'll like.
No, there's one story in there that you're going to absolutely fucking love. And then there's 8 other stories that you're going to like or love in various states.
And that's good to hear.
Yes.
Fucking book. It's balanced perfectly.
Yeah, that's good to hear too, because like sometimes with horror anthologies or any anthology, it doesn't have to just be horror, but short story collections, it's kind of like, all right, you might like a couple of short stories, but the other ones are just I mean, you get that with like horror anthology TV shows or horror anthology movies. It's like, yeah, okay, this like the ABCs of horror, like that stuff. It's like I might like a couple of scenes, but like, they're not all winners, you know.
When we talk as a group about the book, which we don't sit and talk about ourselves very often, but when we've talked about our feelings on the book, we each rank the stories 1 through 6 of the other people's stories and consider our 3 the worst in the book.
Yeah.
All 3 of us feel that way, that we were the weakest stories in there. And then when you read the reviews, you realize that that's just us speaking. Nobody else feels that way.
No,
it's
nobody.
Weird.
And and some people preferred maybe one of the themes over the others, but still recognize that the other themes had great stories in it. It's just, I have not seen anybody say anything about this sucks yet. And I welcome any kind of constructive criticism, but we just haven't seen that yet. Right. So far, this one has been very, very, very well received.
Well, that's good. That's good. So if I were to ask Mike Ennenbach, which is one of the worst stories written by Chris Miller, what would he say?
Ever or in Cerberus Rising?
In Cerberus Rising. And then ever.
Sorry, Chris. I mean, I'll answer it.
Chris, you'll have a turn.
We'll
have a therapy session after.
I wouldn't say that there's a worst story. Shit, his letter story is tied for first as my favorite one in there. Ooh, so it's got to be between Day 69 and Into the Light. Fuck. God, that's like picking a favorite kid. I guess I'll go Into the Light would be my least favorite of the 3, because I think Day 69 is the perfect Chris Miller story, and his letter story is the best thing he's ever written.
Wow. Okay, what's going on in the letter story?
Fuck, you got to read it, dude. It's
yeah, you got to read it.
The best Lovecraft story he never wrote.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, but it was my love letter to Lovecraft, basically, in a letters format.
Yeah, it really works. It works very, very well. It's a great. It's just yeah. Yeah, sorry, Chris. I mean, I like it. Light. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying.
Absolute. No.
Okay. Now, what about for you, Chris? What is the worst story Mike Ennenbach has ever? I mean, has written in Cerberus Rising and in ever.
It's hard to say. This is my least favorite. Let me say it's the least exciting.
Okay.
Baptized by Lee. Baptized by Lee. No. It's a wonderful story. It's just it's just a very different it's a different approach. It's a different tone entirely. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's just not as, forward moving
doesn't have the momentum
as the other two. It's
very slow for sure, especially compared to the other two.
It's a very, very slow burn. But anyway, I still like the story a lot. Least favorite ever?
Yeah, ever.
Gosh, I don't know. There's so many that come to mind that are all wonderful that I don't know. I don't know how to pick that. Out of Cerberus, my least favorite was of his 3 was Baptized by Leith, but it's still better than virtually anything anyone else is writing. So
my worst story ever, I think, is Movie Night. It was in Dig 2 Graves, Volume 2 by Death's Head Press. It was the first story I ever wrote for actual submission. And I feel like if I could redo it, it would be fucking brilliant. I just don't think it's as it is.
Okay.
I don't guess I've read that one.
Yeah, it's the idea is there. It just didn't pan out. Gotcha. It's the first time I killed Patrick, though.
I've had that happen.
All right, now I got a very serious question for Chris Miller. Okay, the Dark Tower movie.
Oh, right. Jesus Christ.
Now that Wiley's Adventure has come out. Or, no, not Wiley. Willie's Adventure. Have you seen Willy's Adventure?
Willy's Wonderland.
Was there Willy's Wonderland? Pfft, I'm horrible with names. Willy's Wonderland. So you've seen the movie? You've seen it?
No. I haven't seen it yet because it's still $20 to rent. So I'm waiting for it to get cheaper. But I really want. I
spent the $20. Let me tell you, it's not worth $20.
Oh no,
it's not worth $20. But I will say, it's better than Dark Tower.
That's not hard to do.
Shit. I don't even know if I'd go that far. I think that's up there with one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. That Willy's Wonderland, that was fucking terrible.
I actually kind of like that movie because okay, Mike, why was it the worst movie?
You know, honestly, Nick Cage really just needs to fuck himself and just do like Mandy. Just keep making Mandy's.
Mandy was good.
Everything else.
Mandy's Color Out of Space.
Mm-hmm.
That type. Yeah. Because he's perfect for that. Because the fucking movie doesn't have to make sense.
The more batshit he goes, the better he is. And directors need to stop trying to calm him down. I don't know why anybody would try to do that. If you got Nick Cage, just say do whatever you want and film it.
When he's milking the alpaca.
Mm-hmm.
Or llama or whatever, holy fuck, he was just so crazy. He was just so crazy. It was wonderful.
Now, according to Nick Cage, I don't know if this is true or not, but he wanted to try to do a silent film. Like, he wanted to be silent on purpose. Which is, he just not...
That might actually help. I might actually enjoy a film that if he didn't speak.
Isn't that kind of what happens in Willy's Wonderland? I haven't seen it, but I understand he doesn't talk much.
Oh god, that movie was terrible. I didn't tell you how terrible it was because I didn't want to shatter your dreams. But now that it's been, I know you wanted to see it too.
Now with this movie, Willy's Wonderland, is it not exactly what you thought it was going to be though? It's Nicolas Cage beating up animatronic robots.
That's what I want to see, and I want to see him go at least once with a bat or something.
Well. He grunts.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. The Cage grunt. Like Mandy.
What was the horror film that they just made? It was the remake of the 70s show with the animatronics.
Banana Split?
Yes, the Banana Splits. Now that movie I loved. I thought that movie was great.
I've never even heard of this.
That is a better animatronics horror movie thing because it's more it's a better movie. I think Willy's
it's a strong
Wonderland
4 out of 10, but the goal there's just the right amount of blood when you don't expect it. I don't know. There was just something about it that I went into it wanting to hate it, and at the end I was like, "Fuck! I think I love this." It's not great. It's trash, but. It was good. It was like Velocipaster, except not as insane. Mm.
Visual effects.
Okay.
You know what? Back to the Ed Lee thing, though. What Ed Lee tells Christine to watch and she posts about on Facebook, those are the movies that I love. I think he and I could sit together and watch shitty movies together and be happy. I just couldn't read his books at the same time.
Oh, man. Yeah, he is on a whole other level. But that's where he gets his ideas, I'm sure, right? On those shitty movies he watches?
Man,
maybe
I don't know.
So, I don't know.
Or maybe his childhood. If Ed Lee ever came on this show and talked to me, let's talk about your childhood. That's what I want to know about. I want to ask you questions no one else has asked you.
I'm sure Ed would come on and talk to you.
He would come on.
Patrick's favorite story to tell about Ed Lee is he at Killer Con a couple years back when he said he was just in a bar and Ed Lee came in with a whole shit ton of Chinese food and was like, "Here you go, let's eat." And he's just sitting there eating Chinese with a hero. That's just fucking cool. It's just a good story.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I guess my last question for you guys to kind of wrap this up here is, well, I got a couple really. So if one of y'all win, I mean, what happens? You get like money, or you get celebrate with like hookers and cocaine and stuff, or are you just gonna be another day?
I think we get to smile on a on a camera like we are on here, because it's going to be virtual this year, and then they mail the award.
Okay.
Maybe we'll say something.
100% that if on the unlikely chance that I were to win for my story, the award will go in the war room. And I would put mine, if we won Cerberus Rising, I'd leave it there as well, because that's where it belongs.
Okay.
No, I've got a table at my house. I would keep mine.
No, that's absolutely cool. I would leave mine there. Boy, I put you in a shitty position there, didn't I?
Yeah, you sure did. But you know what? I'll take a photograph of mine and I'll hang it next to your trophy in the war room.
You know what? That's absolutely fucking. It's got to be off-centered.
Yeah.
Like it's of the lamp right behind.
And it's going to be terrible lighting.
Yeah, perfect. I love it. That's even better.
You take it on I'm going to find an old Polaroid from the 80s on eBay, and that's how I'm going to shoot it.
Just like
and then get it blown up.
Just like the signed Linnea Quigley poster that Patrick's gonna have that says "To Mike."
He has a sign. Oh, no way.
Mike and I went to the Frightmare Collectibles. They had some kind of open market thing back in December, and we were there kind of representing Death's Head Press ourselves.
Okay.
And anyways, Linnea Quigley happened to be guest of honor that day, Trash from Return of the Living Dead, and Mike went and made out with her.
He's not giving this the credit that is due. So I pull up and he's already there. I get out of the car and I walk up.
Did you just say she was
trash?
trash?
We're over here by this tent.
Did you
and
just
he says, and there's somebody coming, and he says, her name, I think it's a Linnea. My fucking heart stopped. And I just looked at him and I said, Linnea Quigley? And trash. And I was
like, I don't know what other Linnea would be famous.
So she shows up and everything. So we tell Patrick, who's in Africa, the poor bastard. And he tells her that I used to jerk off to her all the time and that I love her. His exact words. I've got the text still. Like when it gets published, you'll see it.
I think he even posted a screenshot of that.
Yes. Yeah.
On his Facebook.
Of what? Of him jacking off? What?
No.
Of the message.
Okay.
So we're sitting there and we started talking to some fans came over and they started droning on and on and on. And so I kind of passed the baton to Chris because I couldn't handle humaning anymore. And I realized that one of my stories, I have a character named after Linnea Quigley. So
Cerberus Rising.
So I just dropped everything and grabbed a copy of it and left Chris, just threw him to the sharks. And I was like, I've got to go give this to her.
Uh-huh.
So I went in there and she kissed me on the cheek and everything. And then she gave me a signed poster from the Christmas horror movie she was in. I don't remember what the name of it is.
Well, one of us should know this. One of us should know this movie.
I only really know her from Return of the Living Dead.
Return of the Living Dead. And Night of the Demons.
Yeah, Night of the Demons.
Yeah, Night of the Demons.
Probably my...
Dude, that scene when she's doing the lipstick on her breast, that scene was crazy.
My God.
The whole movie's fucking warped. If you've never seen Night of the Demons, I definitely recommend it. It's on Amazon Prime. Yeah. Oh, Aaron says Silent Night, Deadly Night. Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Oh, yeah. First half of that is good.
Wow, you got 3 guys over here who claim to watch horror movies, and we didn't know that one.
I just couldn't think of the fucking name. Yeah. And honestly, she kissed me, and I was still back to that. Yeah. Every time he thinks about it, he's still seeing stars.
Oh,
I mean, come on, it's trash. I was like, I don't even know. I was just barely before puberty the first time I saw that movie, and I still remember my cousin came over. So all the adults are in the kitchen at the table sitting there talking and smoking, and we're in the living room, and I got the movie on, and of course the adult walked in when I had it paused where she's naked on top of the coffin dancing. And then so that led to those awkward conversations about, okay, so things are changing, huh? It's like, well, she's hot. Like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what's happening, but my underoos are tight, and this is wonderful.
And that so she's your first crush.
Probably.
She's your first wet dream.
I was absolutely beaming afterwards. Like, I know I was floating when I came out of that place. I came out of that room and I came back to Chris and I was just like, oh my God.
She's the woman that helped you discover your manhood. That's who she is.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then she sealed it with a kiss.
Yep.
Man, that's good. You got the closure. For me is, shit, who was it? I can't think of it. No, I don't know.
Oh, come on. It's got to be more important than that.
Okay, I guess, but everyone has this. Princess Leia?
Oh, come on. In that brass bikini?
Yeah.
That's a hard one to top.
I mean, it really truly is, because it teaches you so many things about yourself. Like, there's the whole bondage thing, and you're like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, I could be a fat blob of shit.
I never thought about handcuffs.
You mean if I could be a fat blob of shit and have a hot woman next to me dude, awesome, sweet. I just have to have drug
chains, money. You can do just about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's that too. Yeah. Yeah, except I won't get that closure because Carrie Fisher's dead. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And boy, did they really tarnish her memory with that crappy last movie.
Yeah. All three of those movies suck. I mean,
my God.
Disney should just... I don't even know what they're doing. They have Mandalorian, that's great, and they're blowing that away. Whatever. Star Wars is a whole other thing. Jesus, that's depressing what they're doing with that. But
you know what's? I just went back and finished the Clone Wars finally, and then restarted Rebels, and fuck, that's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that stuff is good. But anyway. So yeah, you guys all have stories that are nominated for Splatterpunk.
Yes,
and chances are pretty. I think it's pretty good that one of you guys are going to win. I mean, you got Death's Head Press is nominated. You guys individually are nominated. So
I'd be very surprised if Death's Head Press didn't walk away with at least one, if not several.
Yeah,
I think they've got novel and novella for sure.
Yeah.
If they don't win, it might be a conspiracy. If they don't win, you might want to ask Brian Keene, what's going on, man? Come on, man.
The only thing that I really hope is, I hope that Chris wins, but in my heart, I want Cerberus to win most of all, just because it legitimizes what we're doing, which is different than what everybody else is doing. Everybody else pushes themselves, and we're pushing each other. And again, I think that should be the future of it, and I hope we set the example.
Yeah. I actually feel the same way. I would love to win for Dust, but I really, really want to win with Cerberus Rising for the same reasons. It's something extra special, and where a lot of stuff in the Splatterpunk arena is making waves through trying to push the envelope.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we're kind of approaching it in a different angle, I think.
Okay.
We're really trying to tell a story that is not afraid to go there, but ultimately is grounded in the story first and foremost.
Okay, that's cool. Well, I mean, I hope one of you guys win. I hope Cerberus Rising wins, definitely. Well, like I said, for those watching, definitely. First off, get a copy of MrDeadman Made Me Do It. That way you have an alibi and have an out.
Yes.
But also get a copy of Cerberus Rising, because that's good. And I like I said, I don't apologize for much, but I wanted the visual, right there on the screen, us there, or at least you guys there. That way I'm not talking to myself. What it looks like on the stream is I'm just talking to myself. But whatever. Well, I'll stay up late and try to fix that shit. Anyway,
you'll get it all figured out, and the next time we're on, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Right on. Hopefully, Pax will be back.
You guys, everyone who's watching, press the like button, share, subscribe. Hard Talk Radio is every Monday, Wednesday, Friday nights. And that's pretty much it. You guys take it easy. You guys have a good one.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.